Welcome back to Build a Lot Acres. In today's episode, we're going to be starting off with a couple of announcements. Brett here has his first job, and he also got his learner's permit.
Yeah.
So he's going to be driving me home. So if I never see you guys again,
That's why.
I enjoyed making the videos. Hope you enjoyed them. This may be my last trip. So wish me luck.
This is my last trip.
I never thought I'd see you again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome back, friends, to another episode of Build a Lot Acres. I had to change my shirt here. My other one was covered in sweat and fear, but I did survive the ride. So let's get into today's video. So we're going to be comparing two mowers. We're going to be comparing a new Ariens Ikon XD 52 with a 1991 Simplicity Sunstar 20 horsepower model. So stay tuned.
So on this side, we have the 1991 Simplicity Sunstar Simplicity Sunstar 20 GTH, which is the biggest bass Simplicity Sunstar model. As for some general stuff, it has a 48-inch deck. It's got a 20 horsepower Kohler Magnum. But what's nice about this is, unlike the zero turn, it can be used year-round. If you want, you could put a snow blower, snow plow, whatever on the front, use it for that. You could have a land plow, whatever, on the back, use it during the spring. Like that, you can have a bagger on it or a leaf catcher, whatever you can use during the fall, and obviously you have the mower deck for the summer. This is a year-round machine. So with the deck, this is over 1,000 pounds. So it's a pretty heavy machine, but it's not like Power Max or like most Super GT level heavy. Then over here, we have the Ariens Ikon XD 52, which has a 52-inch deck and a 23 horsepower Kawasaki motor. Now you can mow faster with this than you can with the Simplicity, because the bigger deck, faster blade speed, you can physically drive around faster and still mow fine. However, at the end of the day, the Simplicity does have a slightly better cut. So if all you're worried about is how good the cut looks, and that's all you're worried about, you'd probably want Simplicity. However, if you're worried about how fast you can mow along with it still looking decent, you're going to be much better off with the Ariens. However, a big issue with this is it can't be used year-round. It is basically just for grass. And so that is a decent-sized issue with it, is unless you were either hiring someone to do everything else in your property, or you had other machines to do everything else in your property like my father does, this isn't practical if it was your only machine, because you'd need something that can do other things as well. The Simplicity weighs 869 pounds dry, and it weighs a little over 1,000 with the deck included. This, with everything included, weighs around 270. So this is
289.
289, sorry. So this is a lot lighter of a machine, but realistically for cutting grass, I don't know if you need it to be that heavy a machine. I think this is more so just for everything, and that's why it weighs so much. So one more thing is that the zero turn has a physically shorter wheelbase than the Sunstar. And while that may not seem like a big issue, if you mow on hills a lot, it is. And so if you mow on hills, we'd either recommend you get a conventional lawnmower or garden tractor, like the Simplicity, or that you get a physically bigger zero turn with a longer wheelbase, bigger tires that's just more capable.
Heavier, more stable.
Yes, just more stable on not so flat, even terrain. But now that we're done that, time to test. Now, something important to keep in mind. These have both been out for multiple hours, and these are going to be cold starts. Neither of these are going to be hot, ready to go, started 5 minutes ago.
So we have both mower decks set to 2 3/4 inches. Grass hasn't been cut in about 2 weeks, so it's hard to tell, but this grass is about 5 to maybe 6 inches long.
So I'll be running on the Sunstar, my father will be running on the Ikon. I'm seeing which one cuts better, which one cuts faster, and which one cuts more.
Where he's going to lose the time is turning around. But as you can see there, it leaves a really nice velvety cut. So you can see it does have a slightly wider cut. It's 52 versus 48. But the cut quality is pretty similar. Well, as you saw in the time lapse there, they both did a great job. Brett's actually not done his side, whereas I did finish my half. But I think there's no denying that the zero turn is faster. It turns tighter, it's got a bigger deck, it physically goes faster, miles per hour. I did try to give every advantage I could to the Sunstar. I left the bagger on the Ariens, which I had to go empty. I had a few obstacles like the fire pit in the chicken, the little chicken coop there I had to move. So I tried to give them every advantage I could. But at the end of the day, the Ariens is the faster mower. But with that said,
I think the Sunstar mower is
I think the quality of cut is very comparable. I think the Sunstar might be a little better. I think Simplicity cuts are really hard to beat. But the big advantage of the Sunstar is not going to be mowing. It's going to be that you can use it for all sorts of other things, like Brett said. You can use a snow blower, snow plow. You could tow 1,000 or a 1,500 pound trailer full of firewood or dirt or stones. You're not going to do that with the Ariens. All you're going to do with the Ariens is mow, and that's it. So the Sunstar is a better all-around machine, but if you only want a mower, then I think you'd be hard pressed to beat an Ariens. The price for a new one is going to be much cheaper than anything you can get, even slightly comparable to the Sunstar. The Sunstar cost more in 1991, I bet, than the Ariens cost in 2021.
And that's without price inflation. That's the 1991 price of Sunstars more than the 2021 price
So,
of the Ariens.
if all you want to do is mow, I think you're better off getting a zero turn. especially if you have a nice flat area like I do. But if you want to use it for all year stuff, I don't think you can beat an older garden tractor. So let me help Brett finish up, and we'll see you in the next one.